Our next speaker is Karyn Strybos. Karyn, sorry, my bad. Innovative Planning, Level 1, your second speech, and Moses Marimira will be your evaluator. Moses, could you please introduce herself and her project?
Okay, Moses Marimira once again. The purpose of Karyn's speech this evening is for the member to present a speech on any topic, receive feedback, and apply the feedback to a second speech. The purpose of the speech is for the member to demonstrate that he or she has applied the feedback received from his or her first speech.
Karyn Strybos, Toothbrush for Christmas. Toothbrush for Christmas, Karyn Strybos.
Yes,
Shall we commence? Do you remember the first time that you waited up for Father Christmas? And the second? And the third? But miraculously always ended up in the bed. Waking up in the morning, running to the tree, checking the cookies were eaten, the milk was drank, or the beer in my case. There were presents under the tree. It's that time of year again, where all the kids are asking Father Christmas for their much needed goodies. I want a GHD. I want an iPad. I want a phone. I want an iPad. I want. I remember looking back that I really wanted some of the things that I really wanted. And they were a lot smaller than that. But there was this once. I wanted a Whitfield tank because Sexy Eyes was my jam. And I wanted it so badly. And I woke up that Christmas morning and I ran to the tree and I saw there was a little present shaped as a tape, and I knew this is my Whitfield tape. But we had this tradition in our family where we had to wait for my brother and sister who moved out of the house to get there so we could open presents together. Which is a nice thing, but come now, I really wanted to open my present. So when they eventually arrived, I ripped open that present, and inside, it was a Macarena tape. Thanks. I was a bit disappointed. When I think back, I think, why are we like that as humans? Why do we get disappointed when we're given things? And granted, that was probably the only time that had happened because I really wanted that Whitfield tape. But I've watched my nephew over the years, and he's so overwhelmed by the amount of gifts that he gets that he doesn't appreciate them. He opens them, thanks, thanks, thanks. There's no longer that slow Christmas morning where we all open our presents one at a time and show each other. We've got it's a production line because otherwise we're going to be there for 2 days. So why are people more unappreciative? It got me thinking, maybe they just don't understand what it's like to not get everything that you want, especially with the kids these days. I think they get everything so easily. In our day, it wasn't that easy, you know, your parents would give you what they could. But now kids get everything. And maybe if we just teach our kids a little bit more about what people go through, they would change their perspective. So every year, over the last couple of years, I embark on this project. It's called the Santa Shoebox Project. And it's an amazing initiative where you actually have the opportunity to pledge a Christmas box for an underprivileged child across South Africa and Namibia. You can pledge a box, choose a child, male or female, age, not that that matters, because you'll love that child anyway, and fill it with much needed goodies. A toothbrush and toothpaste, a washcloth, a bar of soap, an educational supply, a toy, and some sweets. But I can tell you one thing, kids of today They won't select the first couple of items on that list to put on their Christmas list. Won't even feature them. But back to the box. So this is the only gift that this kid gets. And you can actually wrap it and decorate it and make it as special as you want, because it's their keepsake for the rest of the year. So the first few years I wrapped the box, because just wrap it in wrapping paper, let's do it the right way, I don't want to mess it up. And then I started adding stickers, and I started getting a little more creative. And last year I created a box that had craft paints and craft things to make it look like an owl. It was very cute, I'll show you pictures. This year I did a unicorn, or what I would maybe consider a unicorn, very characteristic unicorn. But my mom and her friends and some of my friends, we got together and we spent really good quality time putting all these items together and making these boxes really special. So that a baby, teen or tween, can actually have the opportunity to open this gift, to enjoy this gift, and to feel love. So I want to ask you to do something that may or may not make you feel uncomfortable, but can you all close your eyes if you want to? Now imagine this kid. Could be a boy, whether it's boy, girl, baby, from young to old, receiving this box. They open it. That excitement, looking at all their goodies, their toys, their sweets, showing their friends, making plans to swap and share. Imagine the feeling and the joy on that child's face. It's amazing, right? So I would like to encourage all of you. There's been 85% of pledges so far. Please commence on this journey with me. Get your children involved, because not only is it an amazing thing to do as a family, but it will also allow them to appreciate the fact that they don't only get one gift, but also that they don't need to get a toothbrush for Christmas.
Moses Marmira to give us evaluation of Karyn's speech.
Fellow Toastmasters, as I commence on my evaluation career at Mariswe Toastmasters, I think the task has been made very easy for me by the speech that has been delivered by Karyn. Karyn, thank you for a good speech. In terms of the project, you were supposed to utilize the feedback that you got from the last speech to apply the feedback on the second speech. From the feedback that you got from the first speech, you were required to improve on your eye contact. Secondly, you were required to make effective use of the stage and not to move without any purpose. And then lastly, for your own personal development, you wanted to make sure that you've got your nerves under control today. And in that regard, I'll say, whatever you did last night or today to get your nerves under control, continue doing it. In terms of eye contact, you were able to make eye contact with everybody that is in the room. And in terms of not pacing up and down, you also achieved that. The only time that you were able to move from the stage was when you wanted to demonstrate how the little kids are so happy to open their presents on Christmas morning. But for the remainder of the speech, you were on one stage, on the same spot. I would encourage you once again to try and see if you can still use the stage when you're delivering your speech so that you communicate with the audience. During the delivery of your speech, I really liked your use of poses you were able to pause at the right moments, and you were able to draw the audience into your speech. And when you commenced your speech, with the end in mind, because you wanted to appeal to us at the end for us to consider giving Christmas presents. During your speech, you were able to appeal to our emotions. I particularly liked it when you requested us to close our eyes so that we could feel what these little kids feel when they open their presents in the morning. Well done. That was well done. Also, during your speech, you made effective use of gestures whenever you wanted to communicate something to us. But for the few times that you were not using your gestures, your hands were clapped here. I would encourage you to maybe put them on the side for the next speech. And then this one, it's probably a little bit the use of maybe when you were trying to use the word comments in your speech. You were sort of apologetic maybe to the audience to say, please can I comment, but maybe it was because you wanted to use the word of the day. Because like I think when you signed up to give a speech, you on the stage, you don't need to apologize to the audience. Okay, so in closing, that was a very good speech. You spoke on something that you truly believe in. You were able to show us your emotions in terms of what it means for little kids to enjoy Christmas, especially those that are less fortunate, and you try to contrast it with other kids that have got everything, who don't really value the things that they receive on a daily basis. And it even speaks to us as adults to say sometimes we don't appreciate the things that we have every day in our lives. So thank you once again for a great speech. I can't wait for the next speech.